up, everybody? I am Maximilian Deer, and today, not just me, we are going to teach you the secrets to dispositions. And who is we? I got the legendary Zach Ginn here.
What's up, man?
What's up? So today, we're going to teach you how, at my company, we're doing over 200 deals a year and selling them, and how Zach is doing almost 10x that, and everything that you need to know on how to dispo your deals. We're going to walk you through what exactly you do, the softwares you use, the scripts, and I may even jump on the phone and call a few buyers myself and add them to my list of buyers.
Dude, I'm excited, man.
That's a buyer there right now.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a few different ways to dispo, Zach. There's platforms that you can just put your deals on and supposedly they sell themselves, which is not really the case. Or there's more the old school way, which is, well, I think you're a little bit more of an old school wholesaler like myself, where you actually pull up lists of buyers, and we'll show you how to do that and what type of lists to pull. And then you skip trace them, reverse skip tracing, and then you call them, you vet them, and you add them to your, buyers list. Which strategy do you do more of for your dispositions?
Dude, I am so old school. It's disgusting. I'm so old school that I used to just say, hey, I made 40 grand on this address, and I pop up the address. And then people started looking up the buyers, and I started getting my buyers stolen. And ever since then, I've been so secret with my buyers because, as you know, my top cash buyers, probably on your company too, they buy 5 or 6 deals a year. That's it. And they overpay, and they're the best. And when I have a YouTube video that has 20,000 views and I show the address, that buyer's gone because he bought those 6 deals. He can't buy any more deals. And it's not good. So yeah, you got to definitely be secret. And anybody that is like, oh, just post the deal. Once you lose 3 or 4 deals from that method, you never do it ever again. And that's where I'm at.
You lose deals that way. I don't think it's as effective. It's also more expensive, and you have to deal with the daisy chainers too, which just waste your time.
Oh yeah, I had a deal in Houston last year where I made 80 grand on it. It was awesome. And I was experimenting XLeads right when we released it. And I talked to one guy on XLeads, and I gave him the address, even though he's vetted. Still, to this day, he called the seller behind my back, tried to lock it up for 10 grand below what I locked it up for. And he was a legit buyer. I'll tell you his name after the stream. But legit buyer, buys 10 deals a month, still vetted, still try to steal the deal. And the seller called me and said, hey, this guy's trying to buy the house from me. It still happens even if you do it the old school way, which kind of sucks. But whatever. You just got to be prepared, know how to not have your deal stolen.
But I mean, Zach, at our company, we have our buyers, sign disclosure forms and stuff. You're saying you'll still go around you? They don't care?
Bad ones will, man.
Yeah, no, they will. And then, guys, what are you going to do? Go and start a $100,000 lawsuit over one lost deal? You're not, right? So that's why it's so important to actually get on the phone and vet them. And I'll talk about the questions that I use to vet buyers, and then how we go ahead and find our buyers. So, do you have VAs do this, Zach? Because I obviously have agents at our company do this. So how did you build your buyers list?
Yeah, so buyers are going to be just like wholesaling deals. So the point of cold calling and texting is to gauge interest. And then you have an actual real dedicated person once the interest is engaged. So for example, VAs to call, oh, you're interested in selling your property for cash? Okay, bring it to an acquisitions guy. VA, hey, are you interested in buying any more deals? Oh, you are for cash? And you're already on XLeads? Okay, perfect. Goes to someone who does the dispo with us. So in person, we have a dispositions person. And then we have virtual dispositions people. And then obviously we have the JV operation. So it's going to go to an actual physical person locally and a actual American, but they're virtually working for the virtual stuff.
Interesting. All right, guys, you said my mic is low. Is it better now? Just let me know in the chat.
I can hear you fine.
I know you can. The people can't. But cool. Okay. So that's how you go ahead. And then, you see these platforms flexing hey, you can get 10 million buyers, all that. Is it the number of buyers that matter, or is it, like you said, the quality of the buyers? How many buyers do you have on your buyers list?
Max, you know this. How many legit cash buyers are in Dallas County? For wholesaling, it is under 300. Actual legitimate buying wholesaling deals, 300. If you take the hedge funds and the big corporations, 300. 300 at most in Dallas County every single month. So I don't care you have 5,000 buyers in Dallas. It's really 300, like, right? It's probably only 300. In my count, like Palm Beach County is probably 50. Now that doesn't seem like a lot, but it actually is an insane amount of like legit ones. So you just gotta get very niched out and be a ninja with it.
Gotta be a ninja with it, guys. And that's the thing. So I like the word and use the word ninja. So like guys, with a software like XLeads, like it has become so easy to find the top buyers in any zip code. I mean, honestly, Zach is democratizing Dispo, where it used to just be really, really big companies, you know, the New Westerns of the world with thousands and thousands of agents, and they were the only ones that could sell deals. Now a little person can sell a deal, but the difference between you being able to sell a deal and still the old school people being able to sell deals is how, not just how you find the buyers, because like I said, Zach's democratizing that process, and I'll show it to you here in a second. It's also how you handle yourselves on the phone, the relationships you kindle, and the quality of the deals you're putting out. If you put out one bad deal to a legit top 50 buyer or top 300 buyer, they're not coming back to you. You want to burn that bridge. So Zach, I have a question. So, you know, most of these softwares, how you would always find your buyers is you would go in here, you know, pull your cash buyers list, let's say in a zip code, and then you'd pull up, you know, cash buyers. Then you would have to reverse skip trace them. This is so easy because the phone numbers are right here. Is this the best way still to Dispo, or do you like it better using, I don't know the exact name you call it?
Yeah, it's called Investor Leads. But so the problem with the cash buyer part is Texas the same way in Florida. There's a lot of these.
So yeah, so then you can just go into here, go into Investor Leads, and then we can just, like I said, choose a zip code, and I'll play around with this later. Pull some potential buyers and call them. But yeah, flipper, landlords, and then you get 168, and it already sorts them by the top buyers. It's, like I said, it's almost too easy. Now the hard part's actually calling them, following up, adding them to your CRM, and sending them quality deals. And then that's the thing, guys. Pretty much now anyone can do this part. The hard part's actually the selling part. You have to actually be a person who can sell a house, because these houses, they don't sell themselves. You have to get on there, fight objections, and do all that stuff. That's where you really have to take the practice. But yeah, I mean, there is VHS's phone number.
Yeah, but once the buyer has a like incorporation and LLC, like they're pretty legit. So this guy's buying Plano. That's a good. That whole North Dallas, like, oh.
It's so good. It's my favorite market.
Oh my gosh. So I went to I forgot that name is. I went to like a 5-star in North Dallas, like a sushi place. It was like $600. Oh my gosh. North Dallas, man. I was driving around there. Amazing area. That's a cool place to live too. But it gets expensive there, man. Like I would love just a wholesale in Plano, but there's just not enough deals there.
Yeah, I know. My focus is always like Plano, Richardson, Garland. I love that market right in there. But you find those brick 3.2s, they're so money. I mean, I bought 2 of those a few years back, and they've already doubled in price. It's such a great area.
It's insane, man. So what I would say is just find the zip code and pop on the top. And the reason why it works, I mean, so many people are selling their deals. I had a guy in the school group. He made like 50 grand, just called 2 buyers on there. And the point is, I went to my top like 15, 20 people on freeholding.com. They're doing like 100 grand a month, all this stuff. I'm like, okay, like, what city are you in? I know there's one guy. He's in Virginia, and like he's doing well. He's very serious with his buyers list. This is before I released XLeads. I said, put in your top zip code. He's like, I have my buyers. You'll never find them. I'm like, okay. He said, this software can't find them. I popped it up, put a zip code. Top 3 popped up right there with their phone numbers. And it's insane. And one thing I'll tell everyone is just try it out. I promise you it works well. So do you have any deals we could sell?
Yeah, I actually have. How many deals we have on the board? So yesterday we got 6 properties under contract. We sold 4. We made over $100,000 in assignment fees. It was our best day ever. So
you sent me a $75,000 deal.
I sent you a $75,000 deal we sold. Now it hasn't closed, so not going to talk about it. Knock on wood, but it was a $75K pop.
Oh, where was that? Just a JV? Like, who sent you the JV? Is it someone in the Discord for you?
I don't believe it was a Discord deal, but every deal we do is JV, occasionally pocket listing. So I mean, if we made 75, I can't even imagine how much the wholesaler made. Yeah, that's what I like about land. because a lot of people don't know the fair value of land. Houses, it's almost become sometimes so difficult to wholesale a house because you'll call the seller and they'll be like, I want 400,000 for this house.
Yeah.
And then you go on Zillow and the estimate is 400,000. And you're like, how did you get that number? And they're like, oh, I don't know. It just guessed. Yeah. Okay, sure. They're looking at the estimate, but with land, no one really knows what land is worth or could be worth. So it's a lot easier to sometimes find it on a deal.
I know a guy making $100,000 a month in Houston, and this is beyond me because this isn't real estate anymore, but he does like mineral rights with oil on land. And that's a game that I haven't figured out yet that I'm still trying to do. I think it's disgusting. I don't think much oil in Dallas area, but like Houston area, dude, that land, I don't know why people are crushing it there.
They are. I have a friend that he does very well down there too. But that's the thing with land, guys. If you're starting out with land, just do simple infill lots. This one was a little bit more complicated. And then slowly, if you want to become the land person, build your way up to mineral rights and stuff. But that was actually one question I had. Zach, before we pull one of my deals, we use the software and then I want to learn like your exact tips to like how I should handle that phone call, how I should vet that buyer, and then how I should sell them the deal. Because again, you've made it easy, but we still have that selling side to actually make money and close deals. Before we do that, you said you had a little secret tip to find land flippers using XLeads.
Yeah. So
what do
if
I
you
do?
just go to investor leads, go back. Okay, a flipper, correct, filters. And all you have to do is put average purchase price, maximum $30,000. Maximum.
Oh, maximum. I heard my name.
Max.
All right, that makes sense.
And then flip timeline 1 year. Flip timeline 1 year. And then average gross profit minimum $80,000.
Dude, that is so smart. So explain to the people what you just did there.
So on the algorithm, this is just for flipping in general. There's no way I know how much your actual net profit is. Now you could probably close that to like 70 grand. You gotta do all of that. Like for a zip code, there's probably not a lot of land there.
75080. I don't know anyone who can get land there for 30. It's probably closer to at least
how much is it?
Or 60.
Okay, then put 60 then.
Okay.
What is it? Like whatever the average one is. But the point is, when I look at an algorithm, if you look on like any other software, a guy like Max will buy a deal for 60,000. He'll sell it for 500 grand. And everyone's like, oh my God, he made 400. He did not. He bought it for 60. He put 300 into it and then sold it for 500. That's kind of the point. So
that makes sense. Okay. So you're pretty much looking, you're looking at like, they're not buying few $100,000 houses, they're buying cheap land. So you're looking at the price down, you're looking at the time frame, the flip took them a while. And then you're also looking at the fact that they're going to make a huge spread. Like that's the most important thing. A flipper is not going to make 500 grand, but a land developer is on paper.
On paper, yeah. And so one thing I'll do is you can change that timeline, or I'd probably average purchase price. I mean, I'd throw that sucker onto 100 maybe. Who knows? Now the problem is a lot of these land developers, they'll buy
there we go.
They'll buy like 30. They'll buy like 30 acres and then make a community. Those aren't you kind of want those like secret ones. So Orchid Homes, I don't know. I've seen a lot of these guys on there. But like
there's New Western.
Oh yeah.
That was Net Worth. There's New Western. Yeah, you get to know all the guys after a while, guys.
Oh yeah, and then you just kind of see it. You can also put home builders and just look them up and talk to the acquisitions department. But that's the best way I found. Find out what the average, quarter acre lot is, and then put that as the average purchase price, average profit, 50, 60 grand, and you should be able to find land buyers pretty quick there.
That's super helpful. I can't wait to use that. This is so exciting. All right, cool. Well, with that being said, let me pull up some deals I have. Just curious, like how many deals do you get under contract? Like what does a day in the life of Zach look like for deals under contract, deals sold, JVs?
So if for everything, it's probably gonna be 5 or 6, but you got to remember that some of them don't go through. Virtual and JVs aren't good. I think 75% of everything we lock up locally stays and sticks. So about 5 or 6. I've been really going hard on Pennsylvania right now. I think I talked about it, I think last week. I've spent over a Ferrari Lamborghini in the transfer tax of Pennsylvania alone. I don't think anyone understands this. There's a 1% transfer tax in Pennsylvania. I've spent so much money on transfer taxes in that state. It's disgusting. Like I almost cry thinking about how much money I give Pennsylvania. It's really cool because you can say, hey, I'll take care of that for the seller, and no other wholesaler does that. No other wholesaler say, I'll take care of the 1% transfer tax because it's insane. You just kind of back it on. You just put it in the back, right? So like if you make a 60 grand, then you just do the 1% and go from there. I think 5 or 6, but you got to remember the underwriting's the hard part. And I've been working on a couple of tools, and I won't get into too much about it, but basically AI underwriting is kind of the next thing I'm really focusing hard on, because that is where I'm spending a ton of time and effort and money. And if I could just make that even easier, it'd be better, because the following keeps growing, and I get more deals sent, and a lot of them are bad, as you know. So got to work on underwriting a little bit, but I think if I can figure out underwriting, I could probably get that up to 8 or 9. I'm not even pushing the volume. I'm not even crazy at all, but I want to get to 8 or 9. That's kind of the goal.
I feel that. I can feel how underwriting's the roadblock now, because I mean, you have to pretty much approve all the deals. It's hard to train someone to have the mind of Zach, and that's a lot of deals to look at.
That one's easy. It's just
think so?
Oh yeah, it's having an employee go in there, comp it, underwrite, and if it's an American at $15 an hour, you're screwed, because the amount of time you got to call the wholesaler. What's going on here? And then you go through this, and now we have to individually comp, and it gets really expensive, because when I tell you 5 or 6 contracts, these are like 20, 30 deals sent in a day, almost 40. And if you spend an hour on each one, you're spending 40 hours of actual, like, I have to give these people money and insurance and a 401k, and they're doing to just underwrite deals all day. It gets expensive, man. So yeah, that underwriting's if I can click a button, give approval or not. That's why I used to just say this, because I was like, is it 80% of the Zillow value? If it's over 80% of the Zillow value, bro, like, come on, like 95% chance it's not a deal. And I learned to be a little better on that.
That actually works really well. I do the same thing. I just check Zestimate, and if it's anywhere near Zestimate, probably not. Okay, so yeah, like I said, we got a lot of deals under contract. If you want to look at that North Dallas area, we have a property in Richardson that we got under contract, actually an on-market deal. We actually do a lot of wholesaling deals that are on MLS. Now, those are sometimes a little bit harder to sell, right? Because sometimes buyers want to only buy off-market. You get that scarlet letter type thing if it's on market to some buyers. Other buyers don't care. They look at the numbers and it's a good deal. Curious, do you ever sell on market deals, or do you only stick to off market, Zach?
Dude, I've done on market, but not my thing.
Not your thing?
Dude, it is not my thing. And I don't think it's ever going to be my thing, because I've been pressed from a couple people about it. Dude, this one guy said, I'm making $100,000 a month doing on market. Why don't you do it, man? And I get pressed hard, and I'm like, your $100,000 a month is solely relied on you. I said, what if you have a heart attack? You're in a coma, God forbid, for 2 months. Is your family what's their income going to be? 0. On market guys cannot scale it. Off market people can scale. And that's the point. So most of on market's talking to agents and pocket listings and building that connection. It's really hard to scale it out. It's also very hard to scale out as a realtor. The only way you scale up as a realtor is you don't do more deals. You just increase the listing amounts. So you don't do 500K deals. You do 5 million. That's the only way to scale as a realtor. Like Ryan Serhant can't go out here and he can't list 1,000 homes a day. He can't. He physically can't. What he does is, I'm going to do $20 million houses, which is really cool. But on market, you have to physically be there. And I don't like that at all. That's why I have 25 agents. You can't be a realtor and have just 25 agents under you do all the work, because the agent only wants to deal with the person they have the trust and relationship with. So that's why I don't like it at all.
I can completely feel that. I feel like people focus too much on it because it's like, oh, it's free and it's easy and it's right there. I like to throw in some on-market deals here and there. I always just, look through MLS. Sometimes I just find a really good one to get under contract, and it's an easy 5K, but it's nothing that's going to be a reliable income source. It's just a little bit of icing on the cake for me.
But I had a kid in my Discord. Property was listed for 150. He locked up for 140 and sold it for 145.
No.
I'm like, how?
I do it all the time. I'm
How do
literally
people do that? It's insane to me.
all the time. We're doing probably at least an MLS deal once or twice a week, and we can sell them near where they're listed on MLS. So here, I'll show you this example. This one, and
Texas is cool. I do like Texas about it because the
Yeah.
estimates are always off,
Mhm.
and that's where every Zillow person goes on. So maybe I'm biased, but for non-disclosure states, it does make sense. For disclosure states like Florida, it makes zero sense to me.
So I'm going to pull up this one. And I mean, just for example, Olivia here, we did a land deal on MLS and we made $45,000. It was a $45,000 wholesale assignment fee on MLS. Now, hey, whatever does the trick. But I mean, this one that we're selling is listed on MLS for 330, and we're going to try to move it for probably like 315. We got it under contract for, what did we get this thing under contract for? It may have been the JV deal from a wholesaler. We got it under contract for 307,500. So we're going to try to make 7,500 bucks. And yeah, here, I'll show you some pictures. ARV's 460, repairs around 50. So we're selling at about 80% of ARV, which is very fair for Richardson. Sometimes Richardson can even go into 82% of ARV. But yeah, here you go. Here's this. Let me pull this up for you.
Yeah, let me see this.
We got a little brick. Maybe it's a 3-2. I can check. So I don't know about where you are, but what I say is every single area has the houses that sell the best. For us, it's brick 3-2s. That's what every hedge fund and investor wants.
It's starter homes, man. It's
Yep.
What do people our age who's looking to buy a house? What can they afford? And what does FHA allow them to buy? And it's a deal like this.
So.
Oh, geez, man. That's beautiful. I love it.
It's solid. It's a good little one. So yeah, I'll pull a list right now and see if we can call some people. But how do you sell your deals? I mean, I'm curious, or how do you train the VAs to sell the deals? Like, what are you telling them to do? Because selling the deals are hard.
It's going to be an agent doing it, right? So for most of our deals, we already have the buyers, and then we have VAs who do the marketing for the buyers. So for example, if we're doing a new market, so if I ever wanted to do Denton, I don't really have any buyers up there, I'll have a VA. I have a VA go and do Denton and just call all the buyers from XLeads. And then the ones that have interest in buying more properties from wholesalers, then a dispositions agent's going to call them up, make sure they're legit, they're good. And then once we have a deal locked up, we call them. We don't text them. We don't email them. We don't make a posting of it. I know we have postings in XLeads because it's very requested, but no, we call them up and we basically say, hey, either are you okay with it? Here's the information. Give me an answer by the end of today or it's going to somebody else. And that's it. It's classic cold calling, and we just go down the list. Because my dispositions agents, their job is just go down the list and get it sold. They're not here to go find the buyers. The buyers are already found through the VA marketing. And then you treat your buyers like sellers. Like you build rapport, you have connections. I make sure the dispositions people, they call the buyers every month. What's going on with you? How's the interest rates? Blah, 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 blah. And pretty cool. Oh, how did that flip go? Wow, you made 40 grand from us? Wow. Well, I have something else you can make money on. There you go. And the reason too, why I like calling buyers and just seeing how everything goes is if I locked up a deal for 100, sold it for 125, and I found the guy made an extra 50K profit, okay, well, let's kind of do a case study, like a reverse autopsy of the deal and be like, well, we could have just flipped it ourselves. Dang. And we can kind of get a good information. And then we're like, okay, I kind of undersold them that deal. I oversold them. And you go through all that stuff. So it works well.
Would you start hey, you're someone trying to build your buyer base. I mean, are you going to call Open Door, or do you just or do you sort of go down the list? How would you go about it if you were trying to wholesale this deal right now?
So you're doing it by zip code. So the reason I'm not crazy about zip code is because go to the top. No,
my bad.
The zip code.
My bad.
No, I'll show you.
All right, let it load. There you go.
So if you go to the top, Open Door, it says they flipped 13 properties in the past year.
Yeah.
In that zip code. So it shows you the top ones for the zip code. But if you got to do the whole city, and it'll say, oh, they flipped probably 100, right? And so it's kind of hard knowing if they're a hedge fund or not in the zip code, because it's 5E Real Estate LLC flipped 3 houses. They probably flipped 50 or 60,
Gotcha.
But it's just 3 in that zip code. So it's a little more difficult to see if they're a bigger player or not. because even like a big player like Breckenridge in Redondo Beach, California, that's probably a massive fund. It only says 3 though, so it
Yeah.
doesn't seem like, but it's definitely a lot.
Yeah,
So
I mean, they have 999 portfolios and done 2,600 flips. So
right, so it seems like a small time buyer if I do the filtering in there. So to filter all those people out, I just go by the county and then go from there.
okay. So you don't look specific in a zip code or something. If you have a, let's say, a Richardson deal, you're just
Oh, I
gonna go
will. Oh no, I definitely will.
Okay. So, but like, let's say, okay, we're going to call some people. We're going to try to sell them. So let's you're saying, so pull a Dallas, Texas list of flippers. Geez, we have 3,349.
And then you just filter out people that flip more than 100 houses in the last year. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, at that point, you don't want to deal with that. Flip timeline a year.
So
And you
flips,
just go from there.
I can even like,
Max
we'll start
100.
easy. So, okay, max
yeah,
100.
You can do max 100. Heck, you do 50.
All
And
right,
then
we'll start with
minimum
50.
flip. And then also, I like minimum flip 2. Do more
Minimum.
than 1. It does kind of take out people that bought a house and resold it and they just rode an equity train, and then flip timeline a year.
And that, what does that flip timeline mean? It's just how long it took them to flip, how long they've been flipping.
So it's going to be usually them doing it within a year. Sometimes the numbers are a little off for a non-disclosure state, so just leave it off. Leave that one out.
Okay.
So just put any on there because it's more than 7. Yeah,
So-
just do all. Yeah,
Let's do all.
and you go buy this thing.
514. So we got a lot of players to call. So I mean, so yeah, we're gonna start calling. So okay, so now you're somebody. So we got the deal. You know the deal. Now we got to sell the deal. How would you go ahead and sell a deal? Like what's your script? I'm gonna get on the phone. I'm gonna follow what you're gonna tell me.
Well, let me show you something on here too.
All right,
You
cool.
can. So the reason I did it by the county is, let me show you on here.
And if you want to take lead, let me know. I'm
You
excited
don't
to
need
call
to.
some people.
So what? Something I don't think you've ever done on a video is, do you see that? You see where the trash bin is? Go on top of that. Go on top. No, on top.
Oh,
Yeah, and then draw the area
that's
where
cool.
you want to do from the county, and it'll show the county data. Then it'll show the area you want. So,
So you want to draw something?
well, where's Richardson?
Richardson's right in here.
It's right there. So you'd make like a little map.
All right, so
Heck, you can even do all of Dallas and then draw it within a little box Richardson Dallas area, and then go from there.
so let's just say we draw something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not perfect, but it will do the trick. Okay, so then do I click the polygon tool?
Search here, top left.
No, search here.
Oh Lord.
Did I break it?
And then I mean whatever you want, and then that should be kind of the best one for it. I'd probably do Dallas and then do that, but honestly, it doesn't really matter. So we'll probably do everyone within there. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Okay, I didn't know we could do that. I like that.
Oh yeah.
Man, I'm learning all the tricks. I got to teach the agents. So this is a tutorial video for me just as much as it is for y'all.
Boom. Okay, then it did the whole. Yeah, then it did the whole area you just did. So
Nice.
perfect. So obviously, like the top ones, like
Yeah,
probably
good
gonna
luck.
skip them.
Yeah, I'm
So,
gonna call
keep going
US
down.
Zillow
I mean-
or Zillow or.
Dude, that's a cool name. Intense Holding. So I mean, you could start from there, and that's how I do it. But like, Carrier Residential, 23 million. I mean, they seem pretty big.
They're pretty probably a little. I'm not gonna probably get a hold of someone on first go.
No.
Now, if you can have that person as your buyer, I mean that's sick. But yeah, this is very reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's a builder. So if it's land, yeah, go call Shattuck right there.
Okay. I mean, it's not a land deal, but I'll call them anyways.
Yeah, why not?
But yeah, why not?
Check it out. This one, that's a commercial skip. So that is from one of the LLC providers, but they look like a developer. You can get a land buyer from it.
So when you say commercial skip, what does that mean?
So it's going. So when you skip trace, you can skip trace basically the actual person, or you can skip trace the address. So you can also do the address based off of an LLC. So it's different levels of skip tracing. This type of skip tracing is based off of LLCs and trusts, trying to break that corporate veil. So that one's for commercial.
Alrighty. And if you don't have a deal, guys, just vet them and.
Ooh. So the best way to do that, Caldwell. I mean, honestly, I'm not even gonna get it fancy. Just search Caldwell Builders.
And then yeah.
Caldwell Resident. No, Caldwell Shattuck Caldwell. Yeah, just search it up.
There you go. Custom home
So they're
builder.
custom home builders. I mean, then you go to the website and then call them
And
up.
then you would just call them from there, guys. But
Yeah, that's the only best way around there.
Oh, did I lose my?
Oh Lord.
Oh, we're good. All right, cool. So, all right, let's try Orchard Homes.
Orchards, they're pretty big. They do the whole country.
Yeah, they're pretty big.
They flipped 732 million.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Probably a little too big. Especially when you're just starting out, guys. You're probably a little scared to talk to someone who's a multi-million-dollar fund or something. It's okay to start with the smaller guys. You only need to sell one deal, then you're making tens of thousands of dollars.
So I mean, R&D Self Properties looks good. 5E looks good.
Yeah, that's solid. All right, let's get dialing.
And they got all their emails, and so email blasting would be a great one too.
Mm-hmm.
I know your company's a little different, so I mean, just an email blast for buyers on the Ninja mode for anyone beginner would be great too.
What's your take on so here it's flagging it that it's a do not call. What's your take on the do not call?
I mean, I don't have a take. I read the law. And so a lot of people give their own legal opinion on things, and it's just kind of stupid. So the way I view it is, if you're not a realtor, you are good. The reason is the do not call list was created from the TCPA, the Telephone Communication Protections Act of 1992. The point of it is, if you do not want to be solicited for telemarketing, you get yourself on the list, and then you get fines and penalties and all these things if you call someone telemarketing on the DNC list. Now, every single influencer in real estate says, well, wholesaling is telemarketing. And that's what they say. And then it's illegal. Don't do it. Go pay $500 for a PPL lead. That's what is told. Now, and then everyone just kind of made that their own opinion. I decided I was going to look up what the FCC defined as telemarketing. And it was shocking to me. Telemarketing is the sole definition of telemarketing for the DNC list is to promote a good or sell service. So if you try to sell a good or service, it is illegal to call them on DNC list. Now the question is offering to buy someone's house a good or service? Well, I don't know. It's up for a judge. But here's the cool part. We actually have case law. Jantz versus Home Run Offer LLC. A certain somebody, I think he's a YouTuber. I actually put in the comments for everyone. You can read it up. This person got sued for breaking DNC law. And they said, you called me and I was on the DNC list. I'm going to sue you for everything. And because the guy was an influencer on YouTube, he thought he had a lot of money to get like some crazy settlement. And the judge basically said, let me read the summary for you. Okay. It's just a quick one-sentence summary. The court held that calls to the plaintiff's cell phone seeking to determine his interest in selling his home does not induce a purchase by the plaintiff and was neither telemarketing nor solicitation. So here's the problem though. If you're a realtor and you have the ability to list someone's house, you are promoting a service. That's why realtors can't buy XLeads and call a high equity list. That'd be sick. But they can't because it breaks DNC laws, because I'm selling you a service to list your home. Wholesalers do not have that. Now, for your agents, the real estate is a little different. But if you go to Gross versus GG Homes Incorporated, here's another one. I had the facts. Basically, calling a real estate agent or a real estate agent calling basically a cash buyer inquiring about off-market or pocket listings does not attempt to solicit the purchase of a service from the defendant. It does not fall within TCPA. So I bring the facts. So I still legally have to give everyone the DNC list and tell you, go read your laws, talk to a lawyer, because I don't want the FCC to go after XLeads. But that's my opinion on it.
Okay. And then that was honestly the best answer I could have possibly asked for. But let's say now I'm reaching out to people trying to dispo deals, trying to actually sell them homes. Could that be selling a product or a service?
Gross versus GG Homes. Read it. A cash buyer sued a wholesaler for trying to get a pocket listing, but he was on the DNC list. This guy paid $5-6 grand for a lawyer probably to sue a wholesaler. And the guy got off because it is not telemarketing. It's crazy.
Yeah, Zach's I'm learning a lot from Zach, guys. I'll just
like when you make the software, you gotta figure it out. Fun fact for the new PPL on the 27th, if the PPL company does not keep good records, when you buy a PPL lead, you could be sued. And if the PPL provider does not get the right disclosures in, you will be just as liable as the PPL company. Right now, if you buy the PPL lead, you're pretty much good to go. But now the liability falls on the person buying the PPL lead now too. That's not me going after PPL, but you know what I call PPL leads? I call them BBL leads because they're fake. But dude, I do not like PPL, man. But yeah.
Okay, before I call this, I will ask the question that everyone's wondering about, hey, the new regulations for calling, texting. But before I say that, hey, I'm not taking a fight on the PPL thing, but I am going under contract on a PPL lead, a sub 2 deal. So that's a win. I'll take that.
There we go.
There you go.
No, I don't think PPL is terrible. I think I think there's better options. I found a 3x return on PPL leads. Do you know what PPL return used to be? It used to be 6x.
Yeah.
Here's the shocker. When more people use PPL, the cost goes up. Shocker.
What's your return on calling or texting?
So calling by yourself is 20x. If I'm scaling things out, it's about 10x with agents and VAs. And then you're at a 5x for like direct mail and like large scale stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But that's me driving for dollars and then putting in a dialer and calling. That's what 20x is, right?
Yeah.
So that's just my opinion.
Okay.
And these PPL companies, it's getting more expensive. Their profits. I've seen some. I'll tell you off air. They're starting to refuse a bunch of refunds because they can't actually afford to do that anymore. But I'm not getting into it. So yeah.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Okay, so while I dial up these people, try to get someone on the phone, can you tell the people what's going on with? Because everyone's telling me that calling and texting is going to be over here in like 10 days.
Oh, this is great. So let's talk about Mr. Knowledge over here. So if you read I'll put let me just.
Cool. I'm just going to dial away while you're doing your thing.
Let me put in the comments. Here's the official FCC regulations on the 1-to-1 consent rule. Now, I'm actually dropping a whole video on the 27th about this. But if you go on page...
Hey, is this the owner of R&D Self Properties, LLC? Oh, hey, wonderful. I'm actually calling because I have a off-market property in... I have tons of off-market properties here in Dallas, Texas. Just wondering if you guys are still flipping.
We are. I tell you that, it's very rare that I find a wholesale property that meets my box.
For sure.
I'm buying, 75% of ARV, less repairs and below. Mm-hmm. So most of these I see come across my desk are, 84, 85%, which is just not something I can make work.
I've never sold something at 84, 85. Don't worry, I'm an investor myself, so I understand why you want to be at 75. Where are you looking at mostly? Is it the Richardson area? Because I saw you did some flips up there. Richardson, Garland, or like where are you looking at, sir?
Just basically Dallas County, Collin County, Rockwall County.
Okay. And then is there like a particular type of house, like brick 3.2s, or are you open to really anything that makes money?
I'm open to anything that makes money. I'm not a huge fan of condos, but I'll do those from time to time as well.
Okay. So if I found something around that 75% of ARV mark, is there a certain dollar amount you're looking to do, or like dollar amount per month that you're trying to make?
I'm really looking, 400, 425 or less in ARV is really what kind of my bread and butter, but I'll do higher stuff as well if the numbers are right. 75% is kind of the top end of what I'm going to pay. So,
yeah.
But yeah, if you got that stuff, send it my way.
Okay.
I'll look at it. I've done everything from, 2-1s to 1-1. I've got a 1-1 condo right now, but I've done, 2-1 and 3-1 houses, 2-2s, 3-2s, 4-2s. It's all about the margin,
I completely understand you. Okay, and then is a good email to reach out to you is this one, the David or david.self@txrr.com? Is it that one? No.
davidself@homevestors.com.
Okay. Homevest. So it's was that okay? Let me write that down here so I just don't mess that up. One second, sir. Can you say that one more time for me?
David.self
Hey, that's how it is sometimes. Okay, well, hey, I really appreciate it. I'll make sure to keep in touch and then send you over some deals to your email.
And what's your name?
My name is Max. I'm with the RFP Homes. We have a brokerage here in Las Colinas, and we just find off-market investment properties.
I think I'm on your email list. Hang on just a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aaron Gonzalez. I'm already on Aaron's email list. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't seen anything that he's blasting emails to me every day, and I've asked him to kind of start filtering the emails just to send stuff to me that meets the buy box. If you're shopping the same deals out with him, I haven't seen anything that fits yet.
Well,
I've seen a lot of stuff come across. If you've got to go back 9 and 12 months, and that is not relevant in the market we're in right now. So, and then what I'm seeing, I'm seeing what when you send me the CMAs, either the ARVs are inflated or like say the comps go way back, too far back.
okay. Oh, I appreciate. Yeah,
I'm not using anything more than 4 or 5 months back right now.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the feedback. I'm one of the partners at the company, and I'll make sure to relay that information over to the team, especially Aaron, and then tell them to dial in those comps.
I emailed him and asked him specifically
Sure.
to filter what he sends to me because honestly, I mean, if you're sending me stuff that's already on MLS, I mean, you're going to have every unqualified investor in town going chasing that thing down. I'm not going to get in a bidding war with an idiot. So, so I would prefer, send me stuff that's off market. Send me stuff that you've had in inventory for a few weeks and haven't been able to move. That I can go make an offer on, even if you've got to go back to your seller and give them a haircut on.
Deal.
That's the kind of stuff that I'm shopping for. So.
All right, deal. I'll call Aaron right now, and I'll let you know. Thank you, sir.
Okay, appreciate it.
Have a good one. Bye. I'm sorry, guys. I kicked Zach out of here.
No, I'm back on here.
Dude, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but dude, XLeads is so good. A first dial. The first dial, I had a buyer. Now he's already on. I mean, hey, my team's doing a good job. They already have him on their buyers list. But
well, dude, I mean, the amount of deals you sell, if a guy's buying a bunch in Dallas, he's going to be on there, right? But the thing is, it works pretty good. Now, I'll tell you another secret for everyone in here. A dirty secret with my JVs. When I first started doing JVs like everywhere else, one example is I did a deal in Manchester, New Hampshire. No idea about Manchester, New Hampshire. It's an amazing market, by the way. I didn't know there's like 200,000 people in there. It's insane. So what I found was I couldn't get this deal sold and no buyer wanted to buy it. This is before XLeads, right? And so what I did was, and this is so stupid, but I just called Homevestors, the Homevestors franchise in New Hampshire. And I said, "Hey, you want to buy this?" He said, "Sure." And he bought my deal. And all these little so if you just go to Homevestors franchises, you just look up, most of those guys, they spend $100,000 to go get the franchise and they're flipping houses. They're not wholesaling. They're more flippers. They'll buy your deal. Now they won't buy it for the most, but they'll buy your deal.
Mm-hmm.
FYI for virtual wholesaling. But no, the reason is I sent the FCC documentation. You look at subsection 18 on page 5. You are exempt from the rule if you are following TCPA and you do not need prior written consent for doing it by yourself. You guys can read all yourself, but also it talks about auto dialing. Everyone says auto dialing has already been illegal in the TCP and we have enough case law protecting it. Now the auto dialing rules are so stupid because let me tell you about auto dialing enforcement in the United States. If I made a law saying Max can't look up cat videos on his phone, and let's say I said I sue Max because he's looked at a cat video. Max, you looked at a cat video 4 months ago on August 3rd at 5 p.m. Well, what you would say is, well, show me evidence I was looking at cat videos. Oh, we can't really. Case dismissed. So here's the thing about an auto dialer. Max, if you sued me for using an auto dialer, how would you have evidence that I used an auto dialer? How would you? Because it's the same phone number, right? Same phone number. Because with the auto dialer system, if the system's only an auto dialer, you're cooked. Inside of Ninja mode, you can call single line, or you can choose auto dialer. So you don't know if I just called you on the auto dialer or on the single line dialer. I could have done it from either one. You didn't know which one I called you from. So it's not provable using it. That's why the Go High Level auto dialer system is legally compliant because it's not only an auto dialer, so you kind of get away with it. It's not that you're breaking the law either. It's just there's no enforcement. So yeah, I mean, the TCP has been 1992. If that was the case, Mojo would go out of business. All these places would go out of business. And so now the only thing that people start freaking out is they said texting is part of TCPA. If you're not a real estate agent, you're good to go.
Okay.
Guys, read all the stuff I showed you. Here's the problem, Max. Everyone tells you what the law is, but they never show it to you.
Yeah.
They just tell you. I heard from a guy.
So we have 10 minutes left. I know you wanted to talk about like the Go High Level, how that can help you with Dispo. So really what I talked about here was lead gen. We even literally first try we dialed someone. We had a legitimate buyer. I mean, that was stupid good. You know, you can make $5, $10, $20, $30,000 off that buyer on their first call. But can you talk more about like the Go High Level, the Ninja mode, the back end, and all the other options that XLeads provides?
Yeah. For the people that don't have 25 dispositions agents like you.
Yeah, exactly.
Here, show my screen real quick. I'll show everyone. So if you have XLeads on here.
Yeah, let me show your screen. Here you go.
Yeah, there we go. So this is basically within it, right? If you just go the cash buyer thing, obviously you can just export your data in XLeads and then you have all the numbers. But like right here's SMS Blast Dispo. So pretty much if you just put the Dispo tag on the lead, it's going to send a text. Hey, John, I just locked up a deal in Richardson, and you're the first person I thought of. Before I send you the details, you're still looking to buy, right? Now, that could be for selling a deal, or that could be to get interest. Now, you do not want to give out the address, okay? This is just finding interest. The cool part is you can send 3,000 of these a day. It doesn't really matter. They're pretty dang cheap. If I go back here, we have the SMS cash buyer workflow. A little different, but it'll drip these basically. This is more of just finding interest. So, hey, I noticed you picked up a single-family home at 123 Main Avenue. Would be interested in any off-market deals. And here's another one I do. Buy off-market properties for 30, 40%. So email is insanely cheap. And the cool part about that is if you're in the Dallas market and you're looking to buy off-market properties, 30, 40% off-market value and make big profits, please email me. And then you can send 10,000 of those out, right? It's just to gauge interest. When you don't have 25 agents, you kind of have to be a little more guerrilla tactics on there. But that's pretty much it on that. That's all I wanted to show on that end because there's no point. I mean, you can go make your own little website and, you know, you can do it for buyers, stuff like that. But I don't want to get in the hole. Like, you don't really need to go crazy with this.
Yeah.
Simple.
I mean, guys, and those tools are provided for free with XLeads, and you can pretty much multiply yourself into 25 people just with using automations.
Oh, yeah. So it's pretty dang cool, man. And then I think you have a code on there. So it was 10 off for you guys. Yeah, 10 off if you watch this. You get 10% off. Sign up.
Exactly. So, okay. So here, I'm going to open up XLeads one more time. And here, let me stop sharing this one. Let me present. So, you know, what plans would you recommend for, okay, so I guess, you know, we have 3 different plans, then there's also annual. And like I say, guys, if you use the code 10 off, you can get 10% off any of the plans, monthly or annual. But like, okay, so like, I mean, for acquisition, stick with basic. Should you get pro if you're doing acquisition? Should you get X plan? Like what the heck is this mastermind? If you're doing disposition, should I step up to pro? Can you just give me an idea of like where people should be?
Yeah, so Flipboard Plus got moved. I made everything for free. Like I'm too busy. So I made everything free. And basically the only way you can go meet me in person is on the XLeads Mastermind. So if you have the X plan, we do 2 live events for X plan members and you guys can come for free. The next one's going to be in California in April. And then we're going to do one in Florida in October. But we just hang out, all the X plan members say what's working, what's not. And we just help you guys from there. You get in the X plan school group. I got 3 of my support agents there that their only job is to be in the school group and help you guys out. But kind of the main part of this is the basic plan is for anyone that is kind of trying to do it on a budget. They just want the free unlimited skip tracing, stuff like that. You can find your buyers pretty easy with the basic. I mean, I think you can go to cash buyers and then kind of do it yourself. If you're starting to do deals, I'd probably get the pro because you get the flipper tab, or you get the pro annual, get all 4 unlocked like yours, and you get 25,000. It's pretty dang good. Now the X plan, is if you want to get 60,000, you want to be in our weekly mastermind call. So we have a weekly X Plan mastermind call. You want to come to our events for free. You want to get priority support, right? You don't have to submit a ticket anymore. You can just literally just message any of our people on their phones, our support staff, and you just get more on there. It's pretty cool. But yeah, that's the main difference right now. And yeah, it's pretty dang fun. And everyone's doing really good. But yeah, the 2 in-person meetups are probably the best. Everyone that goes there always gets good connection. They sell deals pretty easy, and you're good to go.
Dude, I'm excited. So next one's in California?
Oh yeah, we're doing California, so
Ooh.
it's gonna be fun. I like
I'll be
California. Hey, I'm excited. You getting it for free, so that's the cool part. And events are very expensive.
Yeah, events are not cheap.
They're not cheap, man. So yeah, we're doing California, and then we're gonna do one in Florida. But yeah, we make it free, simple and easy. The reason is we're doing it at Riverside. I like to go around the country and just go to areas where I've done deals, and it's always fun going to the house and like I wholesaled that house. I've never been there. So when I went to Dallas last year, I drove by like 10 or 15 of these deals. I'm like, dang, this is so cool. Like I've never seen this house, but I did it like a year ago. So I always do the events and areas that I do a bunch of deals in that I've never been before. And I think it's always fun.
I think it's such a cool feeling wholesaling an ugly house or wholesaling a piece of land and coming by 6 months later and seeing it brand new or a new house and there's a family living in there and you're like, that only happened because of me, right? Like you actually made a difference in the economy and in the world. And you have like your little bit of like your fingerprint on, I don't know, in the community. It's a cool feeling.
Oh, it's so cool. I absolutely love it. And then some of these deals I used to do a lot of the flip work myself, and it's like, dang, my work's still there. But yeah, it's pretty fun. XLeads though, I'm telling you guys, the disposition's there. There's no need to spend a bunch of money on disposition software because this is basically it. And the last thing I tell anybody is here's the fun fact. If you are paying $100 a month for, let's say, any Go High Level service, I think a lot of you guys have, if you just sign up for XLeads, we'll transfer your Go High Level into our account. It's for free. And you get the skip tracing and you get the data all included. And then you don't have to pay the 97 or whatever for anyone's Go High Level service. So if you have a Go High Level platform, go do it. Now, the fun part is not a lot of people know that it is a Go. Oh no, it's bleads.com. It's not a Go High Level. I'm like, if it looks like that what I just showed you, it's Go High Level, and we can transfer it for free. And so there's a couple big Go High Level companies that are very angry with me. I was in your Discord, and someone's like, "Well, what's the difference between Ninja Mode and this one?" I'm like, I can't mention the company's name because the guy literally put on his website, "Screw XLeads." He basically put "Screw XLeads" on his website, so I don't want to mention it. But a lot of their customers are moving over. That's all I could say.
Yeah, man, you're innovating the industry, and the people who are not going to also innovate are going to be left behind, and they're just going to hate. Then you're gonna.
Dude, I do enough wholesaling deals. I can be like, screw it. I want to make no money on XLeads.
Yeah.
I'm going to give the skip tracing out. And I lose a ton of money when people sign up on your link. I don't even get started on that one. I don't even make money on XLeads. But like, I'll spend more money just to get people to join XLeads. Because I have a grand vision for it. And as long as everyone wants to know why I'm basically losing money on XLeads, the point is, eventually, it's going to be another platform where I get just more deals sent to me. And yeah, that's on the DL. But we won't talk about that right now. But overall, it's going to be amazing, guys. So yeah, definitely check it out.
And if you guys, well, thank you. And if you guys hate Zach and you just like absolutely hate him, the best thing you can do is use code 10OFF, sign up, bankrupt him, and don't send him your deals.
There you go, man.
All right. Well, thanks, Zach. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. I actually learned a ton.
There we go.
Cool. All right. Peace, y'all.